Okay, with that out of the way, I'm basically kind of break myself up in multiple parts. If I break everything up and everything else, after editing, you can see why I'm basically... I can't judge time, apparently. I'm going to basically take off my hover boots for this. It's time to basically take a voyage. A voyage over the Dead Sea. Technicality. We need to activate Zelda's Lullaby here. I feel that's kind of dark. For the record. It's a little dark, yes. But I'll tell you right now, this place, again, the Zelda developer, or at least the Zelda team, went up and above and beyond for all these dungeons. Like, they wanted to make sure the first 3D Zelda game was going to be a game that had a lot of epic scope. Except for its ad. That ad is dark. It's like, are you gonna be able to save the girl or play like one? It's like, oh, like that didn't age well, now did it? That ad didn't stay very long, but it did still use that theme though. Like the theme for Ocarina of Time's temple, or a trailer, was used in Twilight Princess. So again, they did love that music track. But man, I tell you, Moblins have never really had their good debut. At least the classic Moblin style. Like, the classic Moblin style has not really been used, except for, like, Ocarina of Time. Every time that Moblins are introduced, they're either changed to Goblins or like, Skyward Sword's version of it. I'm gonna jump right here, because of, the boat here is basically gonna crash, and it's gonna fall to its death. Alexman, the ship is sinking! Abandon ship! Get to a safe platform! And that's a bottomless pit, folks. That is a bottomless pit. Oh, we get to the basement with the funnest area in the entire dungeon. The Invisible Maze. Oh, the Invisible Maze. And it has 3 Floormasters here. The Floormasters are also affected by the illusion. They think they can get through and see me, but I can't hit them for whatever reason. Oh, I can! I wonder, can the dense fire go through walls? It's only a matter of time we see it. Come on! Oh, it does. It goes after 1. I'm gonna hit enough. If I don't kill these things, they're gonna grow into new hands. Oh, that one's gonna grow into a new hand, so I'm wasting my magic at this point. Okay, here we go. Kill you. There you go. Yeah, you ain't turning into a bigger hand. Not my watch. There you go. Knock you out. And now I gotta take this off and activate you. Oh, you're gonna try to grab me, are you? How about you basically get a little dose of fire? I got 1. You gonna try to jump at me again? Dense fire! Yeah! Oh man, I really wish this magic item really did come back in other Zelda games. Like, come on. I know that Zelda has it now permanently in her as part of her repertoire and all. But, man, would have been awesome. Man, having this in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom would be awesome. But they didn't. And that's a sad fact. I mean, I know, it's like, they can't really, you know, they always have to have, like, almost every Zelda game has to have new items, despite the fact, you know, Wind Waker had the iron boots again. Oh, we got another wall master. This one's, unfortunately, is hidden inside of its own illusion. And look at that blood! Oh my goodness! Man, I'm surprised this game got released in the state it was in. Like, look at this. This dungeon alone would have most likely, now modern days, would basically bring it into the mature rating. Like a first mature rated Zelda game. I mean, goodness. I mean, that's creepy. And knowing what Echoes of Wisdom is going to do? I don't know. Dude, I wonder, can you actually... Oh, thinking about that in that regard, I'm really hoping that game really does well. Because that means we'll get a Ganondorf game. And we get to play as him for the first time in the mainline series. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, the Invisible Maze I kind of hate, too, because it respawns the enemies back. I don't really like it, so, ugh. But, man, I just think to be fair, in the case of Ganondorf, I kind of find him the weakest villain in the entire series. Yep, I'm calling that right now. You guys may be wrong on that notion, But I'll tell you this now, Ganondorf is the most lamest villain in the entire series. At least after Wind Waker, I want to say. At least after Wind Waker, he became more of a sort of like a forgetful boss. Like a boss you just don't really care for anymore. Because to be frank, let's be frank on this. Ganondorf, I was really hoping that he was going to be something really awesome in Tears of the Kingdom. Like they, hold on, get in those things. That's why I'm not a basketball player. But I'll say this is when Ganondorf was announced in Tears of the Kingdom to be the final boss as usual, it's like he's going to do something awesome. But when he shows up and destroys, like he destroys Hyrule in the past. But doesn't really do much of anything when he's awoken by Zelda and Link in the modern day. Except for his shadow does everything. I'm like, what does Ganondorf do? He just sits there gloating about his power. Like he doesn't, he tells he's got the Triforce of power and he's got all this power, and especially with the secret stone from Sonya. I mean, goodness gracious, yeah, this is gonna have spoilers from Tears of the Kingdom, mind you. But anyway, I'll say this now, but like, Ganondorf does so much more feaster in the past, and then when he gets awoken back in modern days, he just sits around, does nothing. Nothing. He just sits there, and just gloating about his power. It's not like, say, like Vaati or anything. At least Vaati, when he wanted something, he actively went out and got it. He wanted to go out. When his first plan failed, he basically found another way of doing it. He took over the King of Hyrule's form and forced the entire town to go looking for the life force that he himself was only looking by himself at the time. And it's like, yeah, that's great. Awesome. Ganondorf, he would just sit there in his final boss status and saying, I'll just let everyone else do their thing, and then I will come by and just let them do the thing. Then I can just take the spoils of war for myself. It's not the fact that I have all this power and everything, but nope, I'm not even going to be bothered by it. I mean, that's the thing about it. It's like Ganondorf, to me, just like Ghirahim. Ghirahim's a more formidable boss than Ganondorf is. Well, he was flamboyant, to be fair, and he gloated about his power, and he actively was doing something off-screen to basically define Zelda. I'm like, that's what a boss should do. That's what a villain should do. Carry out his plans and basically for world domination or collect the thing that he wants. Ganondorf, for 7 years, he didn't pursue trying to find Zelda or realize, Link had the Triforce of Courage in his possession, which he would have been able to obtain, mind you. Let's take that notion for a sec. Yeah, Link might have been sealed away for 7 years inside the Temple of Time, but Ganondorf had already gone through everything and already gotten, Triforce of Power, which he should have realized that Link had the Triforce of Courage from then on. But no, Ganondorf didn't go into the Second Realm again to check up on Link. Nope, he just sat in his castle, gloated at the Triforce of Power, and then realized he didn't have, the other two halves of it, and it's like... It's like, Ganondorf, what did you do other than the fact that you destroyed one town and its castle? Like, why didn't you do that? Just Ganondorf, do something. Do something nice. Do something awesome for a change. It's just that the more and more times Nintendo uses Ganondorf as a final boss in any of the others in the latest Zelda games and whatnot, he becomes more and more less of a character, more of I'm final boss, deal with it. It's like come on, just why let him be he's the ultimate bad guy, and you should let him be fierce and everything else, and like Ganondorf is a pushover. Also, speaking about my rant of Ganondorf, you go right here and you can use the Song of Time here, and you can summon time blocks right here, and you can get yourselves those free hearts. Because I think over here as well is that once you get up here, you see that Navi will just fly over here, which I believe that is a Scarecrow song. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Yep, Pierre just shows up right there. And then you can just use oop. And he's up there and get some hearts. I'm gonna actually get those hearts because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need those things. And look at that, we didn't really have to use the hover boots at all in this place. Yeah, it's like, it's almost like the hover boots were almost completely optional in a dungeon that doesn't really need them, except for the boss. You're definitely gonna need them for the boss. That way you can withstand the ground shaking. Yeah, it's like the one good thing about the hover boots in general, really. Which I'm gonna put those back on. And then we're gonna get ourselves the Lens of Truth and bow and arrow, because that's all we're gonna be needing for this dungeon, for this boss. And Bongo! And guess what, folks? Guess what this boss is about? It's Nintendo's favorite boss design. Yep, we're getting to that trope again. Oh boy. Yeah, you know, when the 3D transition came around, Nintendo just defaulted onto the boss that technically worked the best. And that was basically a head and two hands. And they have not stopped since. Though to be fair, they didn't do it in Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild, so I base that's two Zelda games they didn't use it in, but still. Oh boy! Fall down to our death! And we get ourselves on top of a giant bongo! That's right. Bongo, 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 bongo. I am Bongo, bongo. Bongo, bongo, do something. Bongo, bongo, hit ground. Bongo, bongo will eat you alive. And again, creepy model as well. And he hides himself in this boss fight. All right, let's take one gander at this. If I could just, if I get, if the camera would be nice to work with me here. Come on out. This boss fight, you have to hit his hands to basically knock him down. And after his hands are hurt, he has to hit his hands down and knock him out, and then you just jump slash him like this, and you hurt him like that. That's how you do it. In the game, this guy is also affected by ice arrows. His hands can be frozen. And then he'll actually activate a special animation to basically help break the ice off his hands. But that's about it in terms of that, though. I'm not sure if he actually is affected by light arrows, because you don't get those until the very end of the game. Though, to be fair, I'm pretty sure in the 3DS remake they had to add ice or light arrows to the mix here. Just because of, ow! Also, when he's in a fist mode like this, he does it, you can't really do anything about hitting him because his fist is invincible. Is that there? There we go. Oh, his hand's back. Come here, you hand. Take you out. Come on. Ow! Oh, nice job, camera. Thanks. Thanks for not locking onto the can. I need to have him on here. Oh boy. Ow! I'm gonna die, aren't I? Yep, I'm gonna die to this boss. Oh boy. Oh, come on, hit him hands. Hit his hand here, come on. He will basically try to grab you with that hand move, though. Basically, most of his hand moves are kind of similar to the Sheikah, to the Godan boss fight in basically the Tower of the Gods boss. It basically plays almost the same in terms of what the hand's doing. Alright, well, Bongo has done his last musical talent, and he's dead. Down to the depths with him. Man, that was a more rougher fight than I thought. Well, we did it, though. Biggoron's sword basically did him in very fast. Ugh. But now we got, by a sliver of health, we win. Power hearts all by one. And then we got him to go get ourselves to find the Sage of the Shadow Temple. Let's go do it. Zoom out. Woohoo! Get ourselves back to the light here. It's dark down here. And we get the Shadow Temple that was completely missing in the manga. But hey, you know what's here? Oh, okay, it's transparent. The symbol on the ground was transparent. You can see Impa coming to the ground. The boy with the noble Zelda's Ocarina. As I expected, you have come. I am Impa, one of the Sheikah. I am Princess Zelda's caretaker, and I am also the sage who guards the Shadow Temple. We Sheikah have served the royalty of Hyrule from generation to generation as the attendants, however. However, though, on that day 7 years ago, Ganondorf suddenly attacked, killed the Hyrulean king, and Hasa Hyrule Castle surrendered after a short time. I really wish we could have seen that in-game, really, because it does show in the manga that Link does go into the castle, try to find Zelda, and basically sees Zelda escape alongside Ganondorf trying to chase him. Mind you, to bound to take Zelda out of Ganondorf's reach. When last I saw you, we made escape from the castle, you were just a lad. Now I see that you've become a fine hero. Yeah, no thanks to this sword on my back that said I wasn't old enough to handle swords. Also, if you haven't up to this point, the earrings are on Link's model on his ears. In the manga, they represent basically of a grown-up. They symbolize the Sheikah as a way as a acknowledgement that you basically have now grown into into a grown person. And Impa herself trains Link, and basically after Link stops his shadow in Kaiko Village, she then basically gives him these earrings as a way of saying that you are now a man. And now you can actually fight against Ganondorf now. Which again is a nice change. But I'll put my power in which will be helpful to this medallion. And in fact, she just won't tell you where Zelda is, even though she clearly should know exactly where she's gone. But unlikely, she thinks that maybe we're still being watched by Ganondorf, so basically trying to be very vague is probably the best option for her. But we get ourselves the Shadow Medallion, which looks like a temple, like a pyramid, and around 3 dots. Please look out for the princess. Will do.